What is going on, gang? What a week we had, huh? A lot going on, right? Oh my goodness. We're going to get into that here in just a few minutes. I want to talk about my special guest first. We're going to bring him in here in just a couple of minutes. But he's a fellow prepper and a writer. And you know how I feel about both of those subjects. I'm on board with both of them since I do both of them. But first, I want to make a couple of comments here about one person in particular. A happy birthday shout out to Marcia Cross.
I don't know if she's here yet.
If she ain't here, she missed it, or she can catch it in the replay. Another thing I want to talk about real quick. I made a mistake last week. I want to correct that. Bill asked me about the best AK, and I don't know why, but I was thinking AR. Honestly, I fired an AK a few times, didn't care much for it. But if you're going to get an AK, make sure it is in 5.56 caliber instead of 7.62, because that weapon is much more, that ammo is much more plentiful than that 7.62 is. 5.56 is everywhere. So make sure you get one that fires that round. I can't guarantee you what brand because, like I said, I never owned one. But if you want an AR, go with the one I told you. You know, a good old Smith & Wesson M&P. They have been manufacturing firearms for a long time, and that AR they have is awesome, and I can absolutely tell you that's a good one. But let me do my roll call right quick, then we're going to get to our guest. All right, Bill was here 12 plus hours ago. He dropped in to check us out. I think he's still here now. Buzz is in the house. All right. Who else we got down here? Susan is with us. Thank you for coming back. My man, Nick L. We got to hook up on the radio. Seems like every day about the time I know you're there, I'm busy with something. So I got to make room for you. Glenn Anderson is here. Yes, sir. Oh, who else we got down here? Debbie Jones. We're going to the range on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to take my AR to the range. Texas Raider is with us. I got this fella we got coming on is a fella Texan. Lynn Stalker's in the house. My girl. Oh, who else we got down there? It's Tennessee's representing. All right. And David. Good folks right there, y'all. Short-lived Saints in the house with us, too. Oh, let's go on down here and see what we got. Happy to see you. All right. And Crystal. Coffee, then first. You just got a wrench. I just gave it to you about 2 minutes ago. So that should, that'll help you out along the way right here. If you got a channel, you folks that have a wrench, if you have a channel, post it right here in the comments so everybody else can see it. All right. Charlemagne's back with us. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Happy to see you. Oh, yeah. Who else? Fourth and goal. There we go. Who else we got down here? Let me see. Going down. Looks like y'all had a good little conversation going there. I'm glad. There's Bill. Hope I answered your question, buddy. I can't say don't get an AK because they are good weapons. I can just say I never owned one, so I can't really tell you which one's the best. Diane's back with us. Good to see you. You hadn't been here in a few weeks, but I'm glad you're with us. Scorpion Metals, my man, he made me some challenge coins. They're going to be here, I think, tomorrow or the next day. And guess what? I'm going to be giving them away. When we get them, I'll show them to you. All right, that brings me to this. We have stickers now. All right, OP Nation. Just like you see right there on the back of my computer. Anybody that gives me a super chat for $2 or more, you get a free sticker. If you do give me that super chat, just shoot me an email at theorlandoprepper@gmail.com, and I will send you that sticker for free. And you guys know what I do with that super chat money. It goes right back to you. And we're going to keep doing that. The reason I got these made and I got those challenge coins made is because I got a little kick from YouTube. and I wanted to spend it directly on you guys. So KP's here. All right. Tammy Joe's back with us. There's the Happy Hickman Homestead right there. Rebecca's Happy Homestead. Go over and hit her channel up. She does some shorts that are garden related, and she's on the ball with that stuff, guys. She can sure help you out with a garden. My man Texas Raider kicked in right there. Shoot me that email, buddy, with your mailing address so I can get this in the mail. Going right to you. There's my man. Right there's another one right there. We had a great time on his live stream last night. Go over and see Rural. He's got a great channel. Got a good bunch of folks over there. I mean, you just can't beat them. A good exchange of information with those folks. John H is in the house. All right. And who do we got here? Oh, there's Genesis. He's back. Thank you. Appreciate it. And the farmer's back in the house with us. Yes, sir. All right. I think that's about everybody right now. But we're going to get on to our guest here. This man has written, he's writing a series of books. It's post-apocalyptic fiction for right now. Yeah, you never know when it might really happen. But there is the cover on his first book. And I want to bring Caelen in here. What's going on, my man? How you doing tonight?
Hey, how you doing, OP? How's it going?
Good. I wanted to make sure everybody knew about your books. Hopefully we can get you, kicking here and get you some sales going. I got the best bunch on YouTube. Without any doubt, this is the best bunch of folks. And they like a good read. So tell them what's in your book.
All right. So Frost Rising is the first book in the series. I got the first two are out right now, Frost Rising and Frost Settles. And just about 2 weeks ago, I dropped the first, we'll call it a side quest book. I'll talk about that here in a minute. But one of the things that I always found when talking to people about just being ready for whatever, whether it was invasion or or whatever, even a weather event, a lot of people have that won't happen to me mentality. Won't happen to me, won't happen here. And they always looked at the number one thing I hated was when they said, well, if anything happens, I'll come to your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. There's a very, very short list of people that get to do that. But so I wanted to write something that those everyday people could kind of understand and get behind a little bit. So a lot of these books out there, the main character's a Green Beret. He's a Navy SEAL. He's been a prepper for 30, 40 years and knows all the ins and outs and has his backstop.
Right.
And I kind of looked at that and I said, well, that's not the normal person. That's not what 99% of people in this country are going to experience when everything goes wrong.
Yeah,
so Clint Frost, who's my main character, he's a tech guy. He works in a corporation, white collar, sits at a desk, and when everything goes wrong, he doesn't own guns. He doesn't own water and food and just the basic stuff that everybody normally knows they have to have. So he's got to kind of learn on the fly and keep taking care of his wife and his in-laws and his two kids while he does it.
Cool.
And that was kind of where I wanted to take this from, was just what's the average everyday guy gonna do? How's he gonna get by? And that's what Clint has to live through. So the first book covers the first week. Second book bleeds into about 2 or 3 months. And then the third book that's out right now is called Rebels Redemption. That actually takes place in a different area, but the same universe, same kind of event going on. Well,
right.
Exact same event going on, but tells a story of what's going on somewhere else in the country. And as this series builds out, I've got 9 books planned in the series overall, and probably half a dozen more that are the side quests. What's happening here? What's happening in upstate New York? What's happening in Tennessee and all these various different places to kind of round out what's going on and how people are making it through.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's the thing that a lot of writers overlook when they do this post-apocalyptic thing. Like you said, they're usually military guys or police or something like that. They're not just the average person. And actually, the book that like I said, I just started writing it a few weeks ago. It's kind of along those lines. So I think that's a lot more of what we need in this genre is what the average person is going to do.
Well, it always, it's one of those things. I like telling the full story. And Crown Acres, the Crown Acres series with Clint Frost takes place just outside of San Antonio, Texas.
Right. We
Right
all love
where,
that place.
Yeah, right where I live, just to the northwest San Antonio. However, survival in San Antonio doesn't look the same as survival in Tennessee or survival in New York or anywhere else.
That's a fact.
It's different.
Yep.
You know? And nothing else. You got the fact that we're in Texas versus other places, but what about the fact that I'm sitting outside of the 7th largest city in the country? You know, there's a disproportionate amount of military folks sitting in San Antonio versus everywhere else.
Right.
So I wanted to be able to tell some of those other stories of what's going on in other places.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Rebecca's on Amazon right now.
I got a subscriber that's on Amazon right now, but looking up your book.
Well, if you're looking for it, it is on Amazon, but you can also go to CaelenWalkerBooks.com, and if you get it from there, it'll come signed. So
there you go. Just
that's
direct
not
from him.
Plus, I got shirts and stickers and all kinds of fun stuff on there.
All right. See, I'm just starting to get into that.
Say that site again, just so everybody can catch it.
Give me that site one more time.
Caelen Walker Books, just like my name, Caelen Walker Books. Yep.
Right there, right under the title, folks. Caelen Walker, and then books.com.
Yes, sir.
So go over there and check him out. Might have something else over there you like. You never know.
Yeah, I'm actually working on right now. I got a couple of different things that we're going to be rolling out. Urban Pocket Survival Kit, just something the size of an Altoid tin you can keep in your pocket. It's got a little bit of stuff to help you get home. We got some right now that you can get these nice heavy stock paper bookmarks, but we're rolling out some metal bookmarks that have a little bit of a survival bend to them. So they got some special stuff going on and just a bunch of stuff like that. Because
a metal bookmark could be a good edge weapon.
It could be. It could also have a number of uses as far as like fire starting or land nav, whole bunch of things. And that's one of the other things about my books. If you dive into the back of them, there's a knowledge section.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the knowledge center breaks it all down for you of when you're reading through and they use the phrase LPOP because there's people talking to each other. If you don't know what an LPOP is,
right,
flip back there and I put the description back there. I put, how to approach intersections when you're doing a foot dismounted march and all these different things so that people can learn while they read the book, but it doesn't pull you out of the story.
There you go. That's a good idea.
Huh. Starting with the second one, they all also contain a survival recipe in the back.
All right. I might have to steal that from you.
It adds an interesting element to it.
Yeah, that's right. That's good. That's a good idea.
I got pictures. I got pictures on my Instagram of my youngest daughter and I making the pocket rolls, Miss Claire's pocket rolls from the second book. Caelen.
That's right. Cael.
Yes, ma'am. You're missing an E right after
the. So that's my producer over there. She missed the E.
No, I retracted it actually. It's retracted, so I'm surprised you saw it.
All right. Yeah. Let me put that up there one more time. It's right down there at the bottom, guys. Right under the title, right there. You can see his name. So go over there and check that out. But I got to ask you something here.
Yes, sir.
Now you were a prepper, and were you a writer before that?
Actually, I was a prepper. I tell people I've been a prepper almost my whole life. When Y2K kicked up,
right,
I was 13 years old, and my father did 2 tours in Vietnam as an airborne ranger.
Oh my goodness!
So he was ready. We had wall panels in our house. You could remove the wall panel, and there'd be medical equipment, or there'd be water and food and ammo and all kinds of stuff just in the walls of the house.
That's awesome.
So I grew up where my dad would walk in and he'd toss a bandage at me and tell me, "You're shot in the shoulder. What do you do?"
Oh, wow.
You know, that was the world I came up in. So I've been prepping since my formative years. I
Oh.
grew up. If anybody's ever heard of the Ashes series by William W. Johnstone,
Yep.
Bill was a close personal family friend. There's a
Oh.
character in the first 3 books that's named after my family.
Oh, nice. Very
We,
nice.
yeah. So we go way back in that prepper tri-state community or tri-state coalition type thing. We were there.
Oh, wow.
And,
That's a tribute right there, buddy. That's awesome.
We I did 9 years in the U.S. Army, and when I got out, very first thing, all my buddies went out. They bought cars. They went out and they bought motorcycles. I went out and bought a gun because it felt so weird to not have a gun at that point. You know.
Well, Lady Prepper over here, she's just now starting to carry every day.
My wife's doing the same.
Yeah, and she just can't get it's difficult for her to have that on her side.
Yep.
Wearing that belt and having that on her side, and she's having a little trouble acclimating to that. But I mean, you got to go through it. I
I'll
mean,
get there.
yeah, I told her and she's seen me do it. I never leave home without it, but when I come home, I always take it off. But sometimes I'm just walking around here with it on my side. I don't even notice it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been strapped since I was about 18 years old. But you just got to get through that. But I got another question for you. How did you decide? You were a prepper. Your family was preppers. That's great. But what made you think, I want to pass this on to other people? I'm going to write some books.
So when I got out of the military, I actually used to write short stories, and it was like a coping mechanism for the things I'd seen and what all had happened overseas. But only a handful of people ever got to read them.
Hey, that's awesome, man.
But one day, one of my friends that did get to read them came to me, and pardon the language here, but he said, "Hey, man, how about you quit being a bitch and write a real book?" And I'm like, "Well, fine then, I will." What do you say to that? When one of your best friends has been through all that stuff with you, calls you out like that and says, "You do a great job at this, but time to take the next step." It's like, well, fine then, I will.
Yeah.
And so I wrote it, and my intention was never to publish it. But my wife came to me and she said, "You've been staying up till midnight for 6 months, writing this book and living in it, and researching and rewriting and all that. You need to publish it. Put it out there and see what happens." And I got a friend of mine to do the cover art and another friend of mine who also likes to write. He hasn't published his book yet, or I'd definitely plug him. He did the editing for me, and the response has been great. Yep. People were breathing down my neck to get the second one, so I put the second one out, and everything went great enough. I was like, all right, well, we're going to do this then. So at this point, I'm writing them. If nobody buys them, they're still going to be, I'm going to be putting them out.
That's how I started. I started writing thinking, no, I don't care if I'll make a penny off this or not. Thank goodness it was successful for me. Yeah. I had one of my books, short story book, was a bestseller. I made some money on that, dude. But I mean, that's the reason why I did it. And you can tell when somebody writes something because they want to tell a story and they want, they love writing and they want to put it out there. It's not just to make money. You can tell the difference. So that, I can tell the difference in that. So it's.
Well, I mean, you're going to hear some beeping here in a minute. I apologize about that, but my 3D printer just stopped. I've got a day job. I work a day job. I take care of my family, provide all that. I would love to be able to quit it and just write. That'd be wonderful, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
So, and until I get there, I got to keep working a day job. There we go. There's the beeping. But yeah,
you need to step up there and take care of something. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm good.
All right.
Let
me ask you another question. Let me ask you another question here. What would you say? Now you've been doing this a long time. I've made a couple of videos, so I'm interested in your opinion. What do you think the top 3 firearms are that people should have getting ready for an SHTF?
All right. You need an AR. You need an AR, period, and you need a 9mm.
Absolutely.
If I'm going to go in graphic detail, which I'm happy to do, Your 9mm needs to be either a Glock 19 or it needs to be a SIG P320.
You're getting specific.
The reason I say that is because if everything goes down, if we're going full on grid shutdown, government's done, it's all upside down. The Glock 19 is the most prolific. Well, the Glock 19 and 17 are the most prolific firearms that are out there.
Yep.
In the United States, they are the most prolific firearm, period. They even outrank ARs. So the odds of getting replacement parts, magazines, upgrades, any of that stuff, way up. Almost every police cruiser is going to have magazines. Almost every, every gun safe in the country is going to have parts. So you need to have that. The military just transitioned to the M17 and M18, which are versions of the SIG P320. So that's not a bad backup, because then you should be able to get stuff out of almost every Humvee once that goes all wide. Then you got the AR platform, which you're definitely going to need. Now, you were talking beforehand about somebody asking about an AK. We can have a whole conversation about that, but I recommend going with the AR just because, again, you're going to have parts everywhere.
Yep.
You're going to have options. You're going to have the ability to repair it, but you want to be familiar with your platform, not pick one up and start learning in the middle of everything going wrong.
Absolutely.
And then happy to see you. I'd actually push back, and I'd say the 22 needs to be above a shotgun. And the only reason I'm going to say that is because if I'm in the middle of the world ending and I've got 5.56 rounds and 9mm to defend my family and my supplies, I want something that I'm okay with spending around, take a squirrel or a rabbit and feed them.
Right.
Without feeling like I spent a round I could use to save them.
There you go.
And so I'm personally going to go with a Ruger 1022. I just love the Ruger 1022. I've tried to find something wrong with it, and the only thing I can find wrong with it is that I've only got 2 of them. But and then fourth one, I would definitely put a shotgun or a bolt action, depending on where you live. Here in Texas, a bolt action is going to do you a lot more favors than a shotgun, because we got spots where you can reach out 400 or 500 yards and take hog, deer, whatever, 2-legged hog,
Yeah, we could debate this all day, but
yeah,
I mean, fortunately, I have everything you just mentioned and some more.
Unfortunately, I don't. I don't have guns. Guns are bad.
Yeah,
it's scary.
Yeah, they scare me. That's why I keep them locked in this box.
I don't have guns. They're scary,
Yeah.
But
I mean, I've done videos before, and the only thing really, like I say, we could debate this all day, but I think a shotgun is a must-have, but a 22 is also.
So you asked me 3.
I did. You're right. I did.
If you'd have given me 5, I'd have told you a shotgun was in there for sure. But when you said 3, I'm personally going to go towards a 22, because the other thing is you can't swing a cat without hitting 22 rounds in every place.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So
that's another thing people got to consider here. Well, it's like the difference between an AR and an AK. If you get that AK and it takes that 7.62 round, you're going to be able to find rounds, but not as plentiful as like an AR round with a 5.56. They're everywhere.
I tell people all the time, if you got an AR in your collection, you know how to use it, you actually train and shoot with it, then go get an AK. And if you want to get it, my AK is in the 7.62.
Right.
But I also don't. My AK is so low on the list of guns I'm going to go to.
Yeah.
It's not even funny. And probably the only way I'm going to even bother grabbing it is if it is Chinese or Russian or Koreans that are coming in, where I'm going to be able to get the stuff I need to keep going. I don't stock the rounds. I just have it so I can train on it. That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's the good thing about the AK now. You can bury that thing in the mud for 2 weeks and pull it out and just start shooting it.
Oh, absolutely.
Where an AR is not that way. But a Glock is also that way. A Glock is one of the,
I say the Glock.
Yeah, one of the handguns you can just you can't hardly abuse that weapon. But saying that, now I got to tell you, when you go to the range, make sure you break it down and clean it good.
Yeah, still got to take care of them. Just so you got them for a while.
Right, right.
I've got a buddy that's probably got a dozen different pistols, and he doesn't have a 9mm Glock. And I told him, I said, "You're wrong.
Yeah.
you're just
Well,
dead wrong.
I mean, I don't own a Glock, but I got several 9mm. I got Smith and Wesson, a Kimber. Oh shoot, I can't even. What else have I got in there? I can't even remember. I've got several. I don't have a Glock, but that's just my personal opinion. I
So
don't think anybody. I don't think anybody should own a gun that a dog could chew up.
well, and there is that. But that's where I say the Glock 19 has a very specific reason that I say that one. And it's because it can, if everything goes wrong, you're going to find stuff for it. That Kimber, that Smith and Wesson.
Right. Yeah, there's parts out there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything else you want to add here before I move on?
No, I mean, that's a good start.
Make sure you guys go look up his book. I know Rebecca already has. He's got a good series out there. Reach out there and get it and help this man out. Sounds like he knows what he's talking about, so I'm pretty sure he does. Let me put it that way. But I'm going to move on and talk about another topic. You want to hang around, or do you just need to go somewhere, or what?
No, I'll hang around.
All right. What I want to talk about, of course, is what's going on in the colleges. Folks, this is just the start. What you're seeing now is just the start. It's riot season. It's an election year, and they got to keep you distracted. This is just the first of many, and we're in spring. It's not even hot yet. Wait until the weather gets bad. But right now, there's 120 college campuses that has this pro-Hamas stuff going on, and these people don't even know why they're protesting. A lot of them don't even know why. I was watching, the news today, and they asked this one young lady, about why she was there. She said, go find somebody in a green vest so they can explain it to you. She didn't even know why. That's crazy. But this is the mentality of our college people right now. I saw it firsthand. You guys know, my regulars know. I worked in a college after I retired from the police department. I worked in the college for 20 years, and I watched the progression. I should say degression every year. As the students came in and went out, they dumbed them down. And it's ridiculous. They just programming these young people. When I first went there, year one, they were bringing young adults in. They were sending smart young adults out. And in my 20th year, they were bringing children in, and they were sending stupid children out. In 20 years, I watched the college program go to crap. I saw it firsthand. So I know what these people are dealing with. And these college professors are filling them full of shit. There's no way they're going to be productive. We have a whole generation of stupid people. Thank God not every one of them's that way. But I watched it happen. And I know why they're having these problems they're having on campus. And if you watch that war they had last night, I watched it. I started watching about 11:30 last night on Fox News. Did you see that? Did you see that, Caelen?
Yeah, I saw that.
No, it was UCLA. Yeah.
UCLA.
It started about 11:30, and it wasn't over until about 5:30 this morning. They were actually pretty damn close to combat. So it's getting worse. These kids are getting trained better. But then you got this kind of person involved. Oh, wrong one. Excuse me. Right here. This kid got arrested. He wanted to know if he could go home because it was finals week. This is what I'm telling you. These people are not smart. They don't think for themselves. They've been indoctrinated. They haven't been educated. They've been indoctrinated. And this is a perfect example. This kid had no idea what the consequences were of his actions. And when it came crunch time, he's begging, can I go home? That's just, I'm about to get off on a rant here, and that's ridiculous. Did you get your 3D printer going there, bud?
Trying to print something off for my oldest daughter's science class tomorrow, and it is not playing nicely.
What's your opinion on what's happening around these campuses, man?
So it's a big part of it is just that we've got people that they like to use this word appropriation, right? Like if you walk around and if you're of a certain skin tone and you got dreadlocks in, you're appropriating something, right? But what they don't want to understand or what they don't want to admit to is that they're appropriating being a victim.
Right.
And this is one of the things that, people want to look at it and say, well, they're just speaking out for what they believe in. It's a peaceful protest. Well, first of all, it's not peaceful. So let's get that one right out of the way. And second of all, it's not a protest when you're actually stopping other people, when you're stopping other people's right to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
So all the way around, I think they're in for a particularly rude awakening. But yeah.
Hey, happy to see you. Same thing happened to my daughter. I raised her up right. Going through high school, she was pretty conservative, pretty smart, and she's been in college for the last 12 years, and now she's a damn liberal. It crushed me. It did. It crushed me. But you're right. They feel like they're entitled to something. They think they're doing something noble when they're not doing anything but making noise.
Entitled to it. You have a right to this.
Yeah. But everybody wants to be a victim.
The victims are the ones that have the rights to something.
Yep. That's exactly right. The victims have the rights. But one good thing did come out of it. You saw a flash of it right here. Those North Carolina students that protected the United States flag, and they were serious. I hope you saw the video. I tried to get some videos here today, but I couldn't because they all had News Network, logos on them, and I can't show those without a copyright violation. But those fraternity guys that protected that American flag, John Rich is going to do a party in their fraternity house for them. He's going to do a concert for them.
Yep.
That man right there is a patriot, boys and girls. Hopefully all of you know who he is. If you don't, go look him up. He's an awesome dude. But that's one good thing that came out of this. But what I want to tell you before I get out of here is just get ready for it. Get ready for what's coming. This is just the start. I mean, it's May. We got to go all the way till November putting up with this stuff because we know why they're doing this. Another thing that's going to pop up this summer is this H5N1 thing. They're going to push that. They're already saying, well, it's in milk, it's in cows. They're going to try to start restricting that stuff. And they're trying to push it like it's going to be transmittable from person to person. Wonder why they wanting to do that. Kind of sounds like 2020 to me. Something going on back then that was similar to that. It's shaping up exactly the same, guys, with the riots and the viruses. And I just, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't think the man that they're running against is going to actually be victorious. I don't think they can let him. I don't think they will let him because he will destroy their agenda. And I think they'll push it to the extreme to make sure that he doesn't. But I could be wrong. You never know. All right. Like I said, guys, we got our stickers in. Hit that super chat. If you're just watching this on the video, hit the 3 little dots down there. You can click and donate. 100% of what you give to this channel goes back to the subscribers. Promise you. I don't keep it. I didn't have to tell you about this. I didn't have to tell you about the challenge coins we got coming. I want to share it with you guys. You support me, and I love you all. You got anything to say before we get out of here, brother?
Oh, sir, just y'all stay safe and make sure you got stuff in order just in case.
All right, then. I appreciate you being with us. Hit that uptick in sales. Let me know so I can report it to everybody. All righty, then.
Michelle wants to know if she can send a money order instead of giving YouTube.
All right. Let me tell you what. If you don't want to donate through the channel, you want one of these, shoot me an email with your mailing address. I will send you this sticker and a way to take care of the cost. That's all I'm getting off of these guys is the cost. I'm not making a penny off of them. So shoot me that email. Right there's the email address at the bottom of the screen. So I run over my 30 minutes. I appreciate you hanging with me. Get ready, guys. It's coming. It's coming fast. It's an election year. This is, like I said, this is just a start. They're going to stir that pot. They have to keep you distracted. You have to be ready for it. For everything from, food shortages to self-defense. We might run low on toilet paper again. You never know.
Oh yeah, go get your toilet paper.
So get out there and get it because you're going to need it. So with that, wait a minute. Before I get out of here, got a video coming on Saturday morning. It's already uploaded. The release is at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. Shows you how to build that little 12-volt lamp that I had in that last video. A lot of people shot me emails wanting to know. So I made a video for that. Be on the lookout for it. I'd appreciate it if you drop in and check it out. So with that, I'm going to say stay strong, keep prepping, and you know what you got to do from there. Pray for the United States of America. The Orlando Prepper is out.